Ladies and gentlemen, we live in a world where the noise can drown out our own voice, where the chaos of others can steal the calm we fought so hard to build. Yet, in the quiet moments when we stand tall, when we breathe deeply, we find our peace, an unshakable, sacred thing that we must guard with all the strength we have. And there are those who will seek to take it, not because they understand its value, but because they are lost in their own storm. But hear this, your peace is not for sale. It cannot be borrowed, it cannot be stolen, and it cannot be given away to anyone who does not know its true worth. Your peace is your most valuable possession. Protect it with the strength of self-awareness. It is easy to forget just how precious peace truly is in a world that seems to demand more from us at every turn. In the whirlwind of obligations, expectations, and the endless noise around us, we often lose sight of the quiet strength that comes from inner calm. Yet that peace, the stillness within us, is what anchors us when everything else is chaotic. It is what allows us to rise each day, face the world, and keep moving forward, no matter how heavy the burdens or how fierce the storms. Self-awareness is the foundation upon which peace is built. It is only when we truly understand who we are, what we stand for, and what we need that we can begin to protect our peace. Without self-awareness, we are like leaves caught in the wind, tossed about by the opinions and actions of others. We lose ourselves in the rush to please, to fit in, or to be accepted by those who may not even see our worth. But when we know ourselves, when we recognize the value of our own peace, we stop handing it out carelessly to anyone who asks for it. We begin to understand that peace isn't something to be given away freely. It's something that must be nurtured and guarded with the utmost care. In moments of self-reflection, we come to realize that peace is not just the absence of noise. It is the presence of strength and clarity within. It is that quiet space where we can hear our own thoughts without interference. It is the feeling of stillness that settles deep in our souls, even when everything around us is moving too fast. The more we nurture that peace, the stronger it becomes. And in turn, the more we protect it from forces that would seek to disturb it. Protecting your peace doesn't mean building walls or isolating yourself from the world. It means knowing when to say no, when to walk away, and when to stand firm in the face of negativity. It means understanding that not everyone who enters your life will treat your peace with the respect it deserves. Some will try to pull you into their drama. Others will demand your time and energy without considering the toll it takes on your spirit. But with self-awareness, you will begin to recognize these moments before they take root in your life. You will learn to say no with grace, to set boundaries that keep your peace intact, and to walk away from situations that threaten your well-being. There will always be people who do not understand the worth of what you hold. They may be unaware of the sacrifices you've made to create peace in your life, or the battles you've fought within yourself to maintain it. They might not know how much it costs to carve out time for stillness, to practice mindfulness, or to rise above the noise of external pressures. But that doesn't mean they should be allowed to take what you've worked so hard to build. The value of peace is not always recognized by those who do not seek it for themselves. And when we hand our peace to those who cannot appreciate it, we are, in essence, giving them control over something sacred and personal. The world will always try to pull us in different directions, to ask for more than we can give, and to ask for things that may not align with our own values. But we must remain grounded in our own peace. It is not selfish to protect it. It is necessary. Without peace, we become fragmented, our energy scattered in too many places, and our sense of self blurred. We begin to lose touch with our own hearts, and we forget what it feels like to stand firm in our truth. Self-awareness allows us to stay connected to that truth, to know when it is time to fight for our peace and when it is time to let go of what no longer serves us. When we protect our peace, we are better equipped to deal with the world. We are stronger in our responses, more thoughtful in our decisions, and more compassionate toward ourselves and others. But your peace isn't about avoiding conflict or escaping from life's challenges. It is about maintaining a clear mind and a calm heart so that we can face the inevitable struggles with resilience and grace. It is about ensuring that no one, not even ourselves, can take away what we have worked so hard to cultivate. Your peace is worth fighting for. Never forget that. Not everyone is deserving of your energy. Choose wisely where you invest your calm. This truth often becomes clearer as we journey through life, facing people, situations, and experiences that demand more from us than we realize. At times, it feels as though everyone around us wants a piece of who we are, our time, our attention, our emotional investment. We are conditioned to think that giving more of ourselves is a form of kindness, that showing up for others in every moment is the mark of a good heart. But this mindset, while well-intentioned, can leave us drained, empty, and disconnected from the very peace we so desperately need. Our energy is a finite resource, and the more we give it away to people who do not value it, the less we have to nourish ourselves. There are people who will seek your energy, not because they understand its value, but because they know it's something they can take. They will ask for your time without considering what it costs you to give it, or your emotional support without giving anything in return. They may demand your attention without ever checking if you are truly able to offer it. In these moments, you must recognize the cost of these exchanges. If you constantly invest your energy in people who are not deserving of it, you will find yourself stretched too thin, without enough left for the things that truly matter. When you choose wisely where to invest your energy, you begin to make conscious decisions about who you allow into your life and how you engage with them. This doesn't mean shutting others out or becoming cold and distant. It means setting boundaries that protect your peace. It means recognizing that your energy, your time, and your presence are valuable and must be treated with care. Just as you wouldn't give away something valuable without thought, you should not give away your emotional energy without considering the impact it will have on you. It's important to understand that not every relationship or interaction is meant to be draining. Lastly, there are people in your life who bring you joy, who lift you up, who see and appreciate the value of your presence. These are the people who deserve your energy, the ones who fill you up and allow you to grow. But there are others, too, who will only take. They may be people who never show appreciation, who continually ask for more without offering anything in return. They may be those who drain your spirit with their negativity, who demand emotional labor without ever acknowledging the toll it takes on you. In these situations, you must ask yourself whether continuing to give is truly serving you. Is the exchange reciprocal, or are you simply pouring from an empty cup? Are these relationships nourishing you, or are they causing you to lose touch with your own well-being? If you find that giving to certain people consistently leaves you feeling depleted, frustrated, or unappreciated, it is time to reevaluate how much of yourself you are willing to invest. When you make the decision to invest your energy only in those who are deserving of it, you begin to reclaim your power. You stop allowing others to dictate how you spend your emotional resources, and you start taking control of your own peace. You learn to recognize the signs of emotional exhaustion and choose to protect yourself from situations and people that threaten your peace of mind. This doesn't mean being selfish. Rather, it is about understanding the importance of self-care and recognizing that you cannot give to others if you have nothing left to give. Choosing wisely where to invest your energy also requires an awareness of your own needs. But you must understand when you need rest, when you need space, and when you need to be alone with your thoughts. In order to protect your peace, you need to know what makes you feel whole and what drains you. By staying in tune with your own emotions and recognizing when you are feeling overwhelmed, you can make better decisions about where to direct your energy. It's about being intentional with your time and your emotional presence, ensuring that each investment brings you closer to peace, not further away from it. There will be times when you must say no, when you must walk away from relationships that are not serving you. Saying no does not make you a bad person. It makes you a person who values their peace, who understands that you cannot continue to pour into others if you are not also filling yourself up. It is an act of self-respect to choose to protect your peace, to protect your energy, and to surround yourself with people who honor that peace. In the end, you must recognize that your calm is a precious thing. It is not to be given away recklessly. Protect it fiercely and invest it wisely in those who deserve it and in situations that will nourish your soul. Only then will you truly understand the power of your peace and how it can transform your life. Giving away your peace to others is a silent surrender of your own power. It often happens so quietly, without any dramatic moments or loud declarations, that we barely notice when it's happening. We offer our peace to others in small ways, by letting their moods dictate our own, by allowing their negativity to invade our thoughts, or by overextending ourselves in ways that leave us emotionally drained. These subtle exchanges may seem harmless at first, but when accumulated over time, they take a heavy toll on our sense of self and our ability to remain centered in the midst of life's inevitable challenges. The most powerful thing you can do for yourself is to protect your peace, to make a conscious choice every day to not give it away to anyone or anything that doesn't deserve it. When you surrender your peace to others, you not only lose the calm that keeps you grounded, but also the strength that comes from staying rooted in who you are. Peace is not simply the absence of conflict. It is the presence of a clear and unwavering sense of self. When you allow others to disturb your peace, whether through their words, actions, or emotional demands, you are allowing them to redefine your inner world, to shift your focus, and to challenge your sense of stability. In those moments, you are surrendering your power to something outside of you, and that surrender leaves you vulnerable to the chaos that others bring into your life. Sometimes we give away our peace because we believe it's our duty to be there for everyone around us, to carry the emotional weight of others without regard for the toll it takes on us. We think that by allowing ourselves to become entangled in others' struggles, we are showing compassion or love. But true love and compassion do not come at the cost of our own well-being. True care for others is rooted in the ability to remain whole, even as we offer support. If we allow ourselves to be pulled into the storm of someone else's turmoil, we lose the clarity that allows us to offer the most constructive and compassionate help. When we are too far from our own center, we no longer have the strength to offer others the support they truly need. By holding on to our peace, we remain strong, grounded, and able to help others in ways that don't drain us. The danger of giving away your peace also lies in the fact that it can happen without warning. At first, it may seem like a small compromise. You let someone vent to you about their troubles, and instead of staying detached, you let their emotions seep into your own. You offer advice or a listening ear, but in doing so, you lose a bit of yourself in the process. The next time they come to you, you give again. Gradually, these moments build up, and before you know it, you're emotionally spent, unable to discern where their feelings end and your own begin. When you give your peace to others in this way, you lose the ability to stay emotionally autonomous. You begin to feel responsible for everyone else's emotions, and in doing so, you allow your own inner balance to be displaced. Surrendering your peace can also manifest in less obvious ways. It can happen when you agree to things out of obligation, when you say yes to commitments you don't want to take on, or when you allow others' expectations to override your own needs. Every time you say yes when you mean no, every time you sacrifice your peace for the sake of someone else's approval or comfort, you weaken the foundation of your own emotional well-being. You give away your power to decide what is best for you, and you allow the needs and desires of others to dictate your emotional landscape. At some point, we all come to realize that peace is not something that can be bartered or borrowed. It is not something that others can simply take from us unless we allow it. Protecting our peace means learning to say no without guilt, to set boundaries without fear, and to prioritize our own emotional well-being above the demands of others. It means understanding that we are not obligated to fix everyone else's problems or to carry the weight of their emotional burdens. We are not responsible for other people's happiness or peace. We are responsible for our own. And it is only by protecting our own peace that we can be of any true service to the world around us. In the process of safeguarding our peace, we begin to reclaim our power. We no longer let others define our emotional state. We learn to rise above the drama, to stand firm in our own values, and to remain centered, no matter how much chaos surrounds us. The more we protect our peace, the more we discover the strength and clarity that come from standing firmly in our own center. We learn that we are not at the mercy of others' moods, opinions, or demands. Instead, we are the ones in control of our emotional world. And it is that power rooted in peace that allows us to move forward with confidence, grace, and strength. The key to reclaiming your power is simple. Never surrender your peace. Protect it fiercely, hold it close, and never give it away to anyone who does not understand its true value. When you do this, you not only preserve your sense of self, but you also give yourself the strength to live authentically and to respond to life's challenges with unwavering clarity. Some people may not understand what it took for you to find your peace. It's easy for others to look at your calm and assume that it came naturally, that it was always there, or that it was something easily attained. What they often fail to see is the journey, the struggle, the battles within yourself, the moments of doubt, and the countless times you had to rebuild your sense of tranquility from the fragments of chaos. Your peace was not given to you on a silver platter. It was earned through moments of stillness, through quiet reflection, and through the strength of choosing yourself, even when the world around you demanded otherwise. The truth is, the peace you have now is not a gift from anyone else. It is the product of your own inner work. It is a reflection of your ability to navigate the storms of life and come out on the other side still standing, still whole, still intact. The people around you may not have walked the path you've walked, and they may not have faced the same battles that you have. They haven't seen the nights where you fought with your own mind, or the days when you chose to rise despite the weight of the world. They haven't experienced the sacrifices you made to protect your mental and emotional well-being. And so, when they see your peace, they may not fully grasp what it cost you to get there. It is in these moments when others take your peace for granted that you must remember just how hard you fought to protect it. The journey to peace is not always smooth. And there are many distractions along the way that can pull us away from the path. There are people who would try to take our peace not because they are malicious, but because they simply do not understand what it means to us. To them, peace might be a luxury, something they take for granted, or something they haven't yet cultivated for themselves. But that does not mean they have the right to take what you've worked so hard to build. Your peace is sacred, and it must be guarded with a deep understanding of its value. As you navigate the world, you may encounter people who expect you to drop everything for them, to give away your time, your energy, or your emotional resources without considering the impact it has on your peace. They may not understand the delicate balance it takes to keep yourself grounded. They may not recognize the toll that constant giving can have on your spirit. They may see you as someone who is always available, always ready to help, always open to listening, but they fail to see the sacrifices you make in order to remain balanced. To them, your peace might seem effortless, but they don't know what it took to create it, and they don't understand the strength it takes to maintain it. There are also those who will test your boundaries, who will try to pull you into their emotional turmoil, not because they are malicious, but because they have not yet learned to manage their own inner world. These people may demand your peace because they have not yet cultivated their own. They may seek validation, emotional support, or approval from you without considering that they are draining you in the process. It is important to recognize that while it is natural to want to help others, you cannot give away your peace to those who do not understand its value. Giving it away in these moments will only leave you feeling depleted, and you will find yourself searching for the strength to restore the balance that you've lost. In these situations, it is crucial to remember that you are not responsible for other people's emotional well-being. You can offer support, kindness, and compassion, but you must also recognize when it's time to protect your own peace. You cannot carry the weight of someone else's unresolved emotions. nor can you fix everything for everyone. The more you understand this, the more you will realize that some people will only understand the value of peace when they have fought for it themselves. Until then, it is your responsibility to guard yours. That the people around you may never fully comprehend the work it took for you to get to this place of peace, and that's okay. They are on their own journey, and they are not meant to walk your path. What matters is that you understand the importance of your peace and that you never allow anyone to take it for granted. Protect it fiercely, not because others cannot understand it, but because it is the foundation of your strength, your clarity, and your well-being. In the end, the peace you have is yours, and it will be tested by many people and circumstances. But remember, it was not easily given to you, and it is not something that should be freely handed away. Recognize the value of what you've built, and trust that those who truly care for you will respect your peace as much as you do. True peace is built in silence and solitude, not in chaos and conflict. In a world that constantly demands more of us, more work, more interaction, more noise, it is easy to forget that peace does not thrive in the bustle of everyday life. We are often taught to chase after external accomplishments, to measure our worth by the number of things we do and the amount of noise we create. Yet real peace is not found in the midst of all the activity. It is found in the quiet moments when we allow ourselves the space to breathe, to reflect, and to simply be. These moments of silence and solitude are where our true strength lies, for it is in those moments that we reconnect with ourselves and build the foundation of peace that can withstand any external storm. In the silence, we can hear our own thoughts clearly, unclouded by the distractions of the world. It is in the stillness that we are able to understand our own desires, our own fears, and our own truths. The noise of the world often drowns out our inner voice, making it difficult to know what we truly need. But when we allow ourselves time alone, away from the demands of others, we can finally hear ourselves. This is where peace begins, not in the rush to meet external expectations, but in the quiet space where we connect with the deepest part of who we are. Without silence, we cannot listen to the wisdom that resides within us. And without that wisdom, we cannot find the peace that will guide us through life's challenges. Solitude is not about isolation or withdrawal from the world. It is about creating a space where we can truly be with ourselves. It is in solitude that we find clarity. We are able to assess where we are in life, where we want to go, and what we need to do to get there. In solitude, we are free from the judgments and pressures of others, and we can focus on our own needs and desires without guilt or distraction. This is where peace is nurtured, away from the constant pull of other people's emotions, away from the noise that seeks to pull us in 100 different directions. In those moments of quiet, we are able to hear our own heartbeat, to feel the rhythm of our own breath, and to reconnect with the essence of who we are. It is in this space of silence that we are also able to process the noise and chaos of the world around us. Life can be overwhelming, and if we never give ourselves time to step back, to retreat into silence, we risk becoming consumed by the world's demands. When we constantly surround ourselves with distractions, whether they be people, work, or even our own internal noise, we lose sight of what truly matters. Our peace becomes fragile, easily shaken by external forces. But when we make time for solitude, we create a foundation of inner strength that can withstand even the most challenging circumstances. It is in solitude that we learn to be resilient, to remain grounded in our own center, no matter what is happening around us. True peace is not the absence of conflict, but the ability to remain centered in the midst of it. And the only way to cultivate this ability is through silence and solitude. When we are constantly caught up in the chaos of life, we lose our ability to respond thoughtfully to the challenges we face. We react impulsively, driven by our emotions, rather than responding from a place of calm and clarity. Silence allows us to break free from this reactive cycle. It gives us the space to pause, to breathe, and to choose how we want to respond to the world around us. It is in those moments of stillness that we are able to find the strength to rise above the noise and to act from a place of peace rather than from a place of fear or frustration. Peace is built by creating boundaries around our time and energy, and one of the most important boundaries we can set is the boundary of silence. In a world that constantly demands our attention, it is essential that we make space for moments of quiet. This means learning to say no to the things that drain us, learning to step away from the noise that seeks to consume us, and carving out time to be alone with our thoughts. It means protecting our time for rest, for reflection, and for rejuvenation. Only when we prioritize silence and solitude can we truly build the peace that will sustain us through the challenges of life. In the end, the peace we seek is not something that can be found in the chaos of the world. It is something that must be cultivated within ourselves in the quiet moments when we allow ourselves to listen to the stillness, to reflect on our own truths, and to connect with the deepest part of our being. Peace is built in silence, and it is only when we embrace the power of solitude that we can truly find the strength to face the world with calm, clarity, and resilience. Sometimes the greatest act of self-respect is simply saying no. We are often taught to be accommodating, to be people pleasers, to say yes when asked, even when it conflicts with our own needs. We fear that saying no will make us appear rude, selfish, or unkind. We worry that others will think less of us if we refuse their requests, or that we will disappoint someone we care about. But what we fail to realize is that constantly saying yes without regard for our own well-being is not an act of kindness. It is an act of self-neglect. It is a way of giving away our peace, our time, and our energy to others, often at the expense of our own emotional health. When we constantly say yes, we lose touch with our own needs. We become so focused on meeting the expectations of others that we forget to take care of ourselves. We put our own desires, our own peace, and our own well-being on the back burner, thinking that it is more important to please those around us. But this mindset is ultimately destructive. By neglecting ourselves, we sacrifice the very things that allow us to show up fully for others. We are not able to give our best selves when we are depleted, when we are emotionally drained, or when we have allowed our own needs to go unmet. Saying no is an act of self-preservation. It is a way of protecting your peace and ensuring that you have the emotional reserves to be present for the things and people that truly matter. When you say no, you are setting a boundary, drawing a line that says, I value myself enough to prioritize my own well-being. It is not a rejection of others, but a recognition that you cannot give to others if you have nothing left to give. By saying no, you are affirming that your peace matters and that you are not willing to sacrifice it for the sake of someone else's demands. The power of saying no lies in its ability to free us from the constant pressure to please others. We live in a world that often tells us that we must be available at all times, that we must always say yes, that we must always be the one who helps. But this constant giving, without taking time to replenish ourselves, is unsustainable. It leads to burnout, resentment, and a loss of connection with our own needs and desires. Saying no is a way of reclaiming our power, of asserting that we have the right to protect our peace and prioritize our own well-being. When we say no, we are not only protecting our peace, but we are also teaching others how to treat us. By setting clear boundaries and refusing to give away our energy to situations or people that do not respect our needs, we communicate that our time and emotional resources are valuable. We show others that we are worthy of respect and that we will not allow our peace to be compromised. Saying no sets a standard for how we expect to be treated, and it teaches others that our boundaries are non-negotiable. Saying no also allows us to focus on what truly matters. In a world full of distractions and competing demands, it is easy to get lost in the noise, to become overwhelmed by the constant flow of requests, expectations, and obligations. But when we say no to the things that do not align with our values or priorities, we make space for the things that truly matter. We create room for activities, relationships, and experiences that nourish our soul, that bring us joy, and that allow us to grow. By saying no, we are making a conscious choice to invest our time and energy in the things that align with our purpose and our peace. The fear of saying no often stems from a deeper fear of rejection or disapproval. We fear that others will think less of us or that we will lose their affection or approval. But in reality, those who truly care about us will respect our boundaries. They will understand that we are not saying no out of selfishness or disregard for their needs, but out of a deep respect for ourselves and our peace. Those who love us will recognize that we cannot be fully present for them if we are constantly running on empty, and those who do not respect our boundaries may not be the people we need to be giving our time and energy to in the first place. Saying no is an act of self-love. It is a recognition that we are worthy of rest, of space, of time to ourselves, and of peace. It is an acknowledgement that we cannot be everything to everyone, and that we are not obligated to say yes to every request that comes our way. Saying no does not make us bad people. It makes us people who value ourselves enough to protect our own well-being. It makes us people who understand that our peace is precious and that we must protect it fiercely. In the end, saying no is not just about protecting our peace in the moment. It is about building a life that is aligned with our values and our purpose. It is about creating a life where we are not constantly at the mercy of other people's demands, but where we have the freedom to choose how we spend our time and energy. By saying no to the things that drain us, we say yes to the things that nourish us, that allow us to grow, and that bring us joy. And that ultimately is the key to living a life of peace, purpose, and fulfillment. There is a subtle yet powerful truth about peace. It is not something that can be taken from you unless you allow it. While the world around you may try to shake your sense of calm, while people may act in ways that test your patience or challenge your stability, the one thing that remains entirely in your control is how much of your peace you give away. Too often we mistakenly believe that peace is fragile and that it can be disrupted by anything or anyone outside of us. But peace, when nurtured and guarded with intention, is far more resilient than we realize. It can withstand the storms of life, the challenges we face, and the actions of others, provided we do not surrender it. The act of surrendering our peace is often subtle and gradual. It begins with small compromises, moments where we ignore our boundaries or allow others to overstep without protest. It happens when we let our emotions be dictated by the actions of those around us, when we allow their negativity, impatience, or anger to seep into our own hearts and minds. It occurs when we let the demands of life overwhelm us, and instead of pausing to assess the situation, we react impulsively, without clarity or consideration. The more we allow ourselves to be swept up by these forces, the more we relinquish our peace. However, we must understand that peace is not something that is easily lost unless we permit it. It is not something that is taken from us without our consent, for we are the ones who choose whether or not we hold on to it. When we give others the power to dictate our emotions, when we allow external circumstances to shake our internal balance, we are the ones giving our peace away. We are the ones who choose to let someone else's harsh words or actions have power over how we feel. And in doing so, we give up our peace in exchange for unnecessary turmoil. What is important to recognize is that peace is an internal state of being. It is not dependent on the world around us or the behavior of others. It is an alignment of the mind, body, and spirit, a sense of calm that comes from within, regardless of the external circumstances. We cannot rely on other people, events, or situations to maintain our peace. If we do, we will always be at the mercy of the world around us, tossed and turned by the ups and downs of life. True peace comes from the understanding that no matter what happens outside of us, we have the power to maintain our inner balance, provided we protect it. One of the greatest tools we have to protect our peace is the ability to detach ourselves emotionally from the things that try to disturb it. This does not mean we become indifferent or uncaring. Rather, it means we learn to respond to life with clarity and calm rather than reacting from a place of emotion. When we learn to detach, we are able to observe the situation without becoming entangled in it. We can acknowledge the feelings of others or the difficulties of a situation, but we do not allow those feelings to control us or dictate our behavior. We stay rooted in our own truth and maintain our sense of peace no matter what is happening around us. Detachment also means learning to say no to things that disrupt our peace. It means recognizing when a situation, a person, or a demand is draining us emotionally and having the courage to step away. This can be incredibly difficult, especially when it comes to people we care about. But it is important to remember that we are not obligated to sacrifice our peace for the comfort or approval of others. Our peace is too valuable to be given away lightly. And if we allow others to take it from us, we are doing a disservice to ourselves. The ability to hold on to your peace is not about avoiding conflict or pretending that everything is perfect. It is about maintaining your inner strength and balance, even when life is challenging. It is about choosing how you respond, not allowing circumstances to dictate your emotional state. The more you practice this, the more you will find that peace is not something fragile or fleeting. It is a powerful force within you that can withstand the most difficult of situations as long as you choose to hold on to it. When you learn to hold on to your peace, you also learn to embrace the present moment. So often we lose our peace because we worry about the past or the future, and in doing so, we become disconnected from the present. We ruminate on past mistakes or anticipate future problems, and in doing so, we allow anxiety, regret, or fear to rob us of our sense of calm. Holding on to your peace means learning to let go of these distractions, to remain focused on the here and now, and to trust that everything you need is already within you. It is in the present moment that peace truly resides. And when we stop giving it away to things that have already passed or things that have yet to come, we reclaim our ability to remain calm, centered, and peaceful. Ultimately, the choice to protect and hold on to your peace is a matter of self-respect. It is an acknowledgement that your inner well-being is precious and that no one, not even the world around you, has the right to disturb it unless you allow it. When you protect your peace, you are choosing to value yourself, to honor your emotional and mental health, and to live a life that is rooted in calm, clarity, and strength. The peace you have worked so hard to cultivate is yours to protect, and it is up to you whether you allow it to be taken from you. Hold it close, cherish it, and never forget that the power to keep it lies in your hands. As we come to the close of this reflection on the importance of protecting your peace, remember that your inner calm is a priceless treasure. It is something that you have earned, something that you must guard fiercely. Never forget that peace is not something that can be taken from you unless you allow it. It is yours to protect, yours to nurture, and yours to preserve. By choosing to value your peace, setting clear boundaries, and saying no to what drains you, you honor yourself and the life you deserve. Life will continue to test you, but the strength to face those challenges comes from within. It is in the quiet moments of reflection, the courage to detach from chaos, and the deep understanding that your peace is worth more than any external demand. Thank you for taking the time to reflect on this journey of peace. And may you walk forward with the courage to protect and nurture your own inner tranquility. May you face the world with strength, clarity, and the unwavering belief that your peace is yours to keep. Good luck on your journey, and remember, the most powerful thing you can do for yourself is to never hand your peace to those who do not understand its value. Thank you.